Hey folks, today is Sunday. It's a beautiful day today. First weekend of the NFL. So I figured I haven't done a video on my gear. So I want to take this opportunity to shoot a video and just show you all the gear and what I'm using in my setup. So I figured I'm going to start over on the rack over here. The rack on the left here, at the top is my VPI Prime turntable. It's a beautiful turntable. I'm using the Autofon 2-in-black cartridge and stylus. Right here is a switcher. This is an XLR switcher that I can switch between my turntable and my Oppo player. But so starting from the top is the VPI. Below that is my Apple TV 4K, and I have my router extenders down there. There's the Oppo UDP 205 that I just mentioned. Below that is my processor, the MX122, the Macintosh MX122. Below that, that's my phono preamp. That's the JC3 Plus, the John Curl edition. Phenomenal phono preamp. Below that is my power conditioner. That's the M5400, the Panamax M5400. And then I have a Macintosh MC8207. That's a 7-channel, 200 watts per channel into 8 ohms. So it's a 7-channel amplifier. The stand is a Salamander. I purchased that years ago when Tweeter was in business. So that's a nice stand. It's held up over time. Nice wood finish with the metal railings. So then moving to my left, this is my main source for music. So at the top is my Core Dave. That's my DAC. It's a phenomenal DAC. You know, not much to say other than it's just superb. Below that is my streamer. That's the Hi-Fi Rose RS130. That's a transport, which means there is not an internal DAC. So you will need to use an external DAC for it. Below that is my AC Infinity. That's a cooling fan. It's, you know, it does its job. And then below that this was my original home theater receiver. This is a Denon AV3800. It's the 3801, AVR 3801. So I'm using this now as a amplifier. So I'm not using this for any other purposes than to power some speakers. And it's pretty good. It actually has a toroidal transformers inside, so it's very beefy. Not like the chip-based amplifiers you get today. This thing, it's built like a tank. And it does 105 watts per channel, so it's a 7-channel AVR, but like I said, I'm only using it for amplification, no signal processing. Then below that is my second Panamax M5400 power conditioner. And there's another AC Infinity cooling system. The last item here is this is a 3-channel amplifier. This is the B&K reference 200.3. It's a 3-channel amplifier that's rated at 220 watts per channel and to 8 ohms, and it bumps up to, I think, north of 300 watts into 4 ohms. So those are my equipment. For subwoofers, well, the subwoofer that you see here, this is the Mirage BPS 400. This was my original serious subwoofer that I got years ago. It's a dual 12. It puts out 400 watts RMS, 1600 watts peak. It's a really beefy sub. This was really one of the best subs of its time. Right now it's relegated as just a subwoofer that's running the parallel pre-out signal for my center channel. So I'm basically using it to augment my center channel, which it's done an excellent job. So moving to my right are my speakers. I'm using all electrostat speakers in my setup. So the left, center, right are the electrostats. The left and right are the Aeons. The center channel is the Cinema I. And then the subwoofers I'm using to run the parallel channels for these speakers are the dynamos that have 10-inch woofers. All right. And for my TV, this is the Sony XBR 94C, if I'm not mistaken. This is a 75-inch 4K TV, does HDR10, 2015 model, and it was the flagship at the time. And it really had good ratings. It held up well against the other major brands. I think black levels at the time. I still feel like this is a phenomenal TV, especially given the fact that it does 3D. It does 3D, and as you know, the industry got rid of 3D, so I'm holding on to this set. It's not going anywhere. I do have some 3D movies that I like to pop in every now and then. I wish they would come back with the 3D, but I guess it's kind of a niche feature. I guess no one really, it didn't take. All right, so next is my favorite source device for watching movies. This is the Kaleidoscape Strato S. It's a 6 terabyte unit. It's been discontinued, and it's been replaced with some newer boxes. The Kaleidoscape just came out with the Strato V, which is a Dolby Vision unit, and it has an SSD drive. But in terms of the Strato S, it's no different. It still gives you the lossless audio, lossless video. It's a phenomenal player. I mean, you can see a lot of the commentary on this unit. To me, it's the best player, bar none, for watching movies in a cinematic way. So I love this player. Well, for my main subwoofers, I'm using a dual stacks of 3 SVS SB16s. So these things are 16-inch drivers per sub. They're rated at 1500 watts RMS, and they peak out over 5,000 watts each. So this is some power, to say the least. So moving back, for my wides, I actually went with Martin Logan Motion 15s. I couldn't see the logistics to put the electrostats on wall. As you can see, I have a window here on the left side, and then on the right side it opens up to the kitchen dining area, so it wasn't really practical for me to install on the wall there. All right, so moving to my surrounds, I'm using dual surrounds. I don't know, I just had them, so I'm using the Mirage OMR 2s, the Omnipolar surrounds. I love these speakers. And on wall, I'm using the Martin Logan Electrostats Emotion Electrostat speakers. excellent speakers. Just the imaging is phenomenal on these things. Below that, I'm using another subwoofer for these speakers to run the line out signal that's parallel for those speakers. So these are the Mirage FRX 8, so they're 8-inch woofers. All right. And then moving over here are the other side surround speakers. And again, I'm running another FRX 8 on this side. So my surround backs are the Martin Logan ESL Motion speakers. So these aren't the X models. The X models have woofers in the back. So these are the Motion. The ones with the woofers in the back are I believe the ESL X's. So these are the Motion ESLs. Excellent speakers, 8-inch woofers. And again, I'm running parallel signals with these two Martin Logan subs. If you see them flanked left to the left and right, or the right and left speakers, depending on your orientation. So these are the Dynamo 1100X. They're 12-inch subwoofers in them. And I forget the rating, but I believe they peak out at around 1,500 each, or something like that. And then the middle subwoofer, that's a BPS 150 that has a 10-inch woofer. And in the back, here's the other stack of the dual SB16 stack that I have. So just for some notes here, other than the dual SVS16 stacks, all of the other subs are crossed over at 40 Hertz, and that gives a great blend and transition to the LFE, the subwoofers that are handling all the LFE. So it's worked well for me, and you can try it for yourself and see what you think, but I think it's an excellent setup. The way it sounds, very cinematic in my opinion. The bass movement throughout the room is exceptional. I've tried running everything at 80 Hertz and always felt like the movement of bass collapsed because it's not really allowing the other subwoofers to play down to, say, around 40 Hertz, where you can feel movement of bass in, say, action scenes where maybe, for example, a plane might be flying overhead from, say, left to right. You can not only see it, but you can feel the movement of that bass within the space, which I think mimics real life. So with that being said, that's the tour. I appreciate you tuning in, and I would appreciate you subscribing to my channel so I can continue to make these content. You can make suggestions on the type of videos you want to see, and I'd be happy to do my videos. Appreciate your support. Hit the subscribe button, and please leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.